innovative content, global audience.
Good morning to you, viewers. A very warm welcome to you. And thank God it's Friday, like we always say. This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Princess Cassie. You know how we do it here. We have a lot of news coming from our dailies this morning. A lot of national and topical issues, if you ask me. And then we saw a very young president, one of the African presidents who came visiting Nigeria. Looking at that picture. Anyway, I will pause. Let me bring my team in and so we discuss. But that will be a major discussion today. The youth, the youth. What is going on in Nigeria? What is going on in the political sector? Not just the political sector, but every other sector where we have people, are the youth being included? Are we being carried along? Or is it that we have refused to, to be carried along? We have refused to actually come out to be seen, to be heard. Or is it that we're being oppressed? These are some of the issues that will make our discussions today. And I'm reaching you live from our Srtv studio here in London, the world's capital city. Yes, it's a fair weather today. The weather is quite fair here. I already have Mary seated all the way from Abuja. And of course, I have David with us as well from Lagos. I'm going to bring them in quickly so that, of course, we can see what's happening. Let me start with Lagos Center of Excellence. What's up? What's up, David? What's going on there?
Yeah, good morning, Princess. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, this is David reporting live from Lagos. Right here in Lagos, we have a very, very beautiful weather in Lagos. The weather here, it's cool. Yes, it rained heavily yesterday. In fact, if I say it rained cat and dog, I won't be mistaken. It rained heavily yesterday. But this morning, I can tell you categorically that the weather in Lagos is cool and calm. Yeah, so you don't need to go out with your umbrella or a raincoat. Just go out and enjoy the weather in Lagos.
Is that why you are wearing tie on the weekend, on Friday for that matter? I don't understand. The old Nigerian guy, young guy for that matter. You're behaving like
I'm just like one old school guy right here. Forgive me for that. It's just due to the Nigerian thing now, power issues and don't let me say beyond that.
And anyway, so what's happening in Lagos? What's going on there? What's coming from the States?
Okay, yes. Let me start from where I stopped yesterday. Remember, we talked about a commissioner, former commissioner of police, retired commissioner Chinwe, whose house was looted by the same security agency he served for more than 35 years. He came out to say his house was looted by the Nigerian police. Now he had come out to give a statement of how it all happened. How they looted his apartment in GRA Ikeja. And also the Nigerian police spokesperson also came out to give a statement also. Now, I think it's going to be war of words between the former commissioner and the Nigerian police because he's saying he's going to sue the Nigerian police and they have to pay for everything that's been looted in his apartment. And he's not even using former apartment. He still calls his place his apartment. Do not forget, he has retired. And if you have retired, you are expected to evacuate the government's apartment.
But
so what is he still doing there? Okay.
Anyway, we'll see more of that. But quickly, do you have any other story coming from Lagos? We need to bring Abuja in and know what's happening in the Federal Capital Territory this morning.
Yes. We have a lot of stories coming out from Lagos. And also, the Federal Airport Authority of Murtala Mohammed International Airport FAN had said anybody who wants to purchase the e-tag, do not forget the federal government had come out to say every citizen of Nigeria must have the e-tag. So you can go to the Murtala Mohammed International Airport to purchase your e-tag right there. So it's there. So the everything that you need to purchase the e-tag, you need your NIN to get the e-tag, and you need your birth certificate also to purchase the e-tag. And moving from there also, the people of Ojo should be happy, the Ojo local government area, because the ministry have decided to help them clear their drainages. And this is also very important. Be careful if you are going towards the Ikorodu area of Lagos State because they'll be having their festival, the Oru Festival. During the Oru Festival, women are not allowed to come out.
And when is that coming up?
Yeah, visitors are also not allowed to go out. It started yesterday.
That supposed to take place? Okay, it started yesterday.
Yes, in Ikorodu. So please be careful if you are not an indigene. Please stay away from that area for now. And anytime there's an Oru Festival, it means a notable person just died or they are trying to clean the community. So if you are going towards that area of Ikorodu, please be
Oh,
careful. Visitors are not allowed, and women are also not allowed at night.
that
So
is a very, very good information, and I hope people will actually adhere. We know that tradition must be upheld. That
yeah,
is
and please
an
yes, and one more news also coming up from Lagos State is yes, we should be excited because electric motorbikes will soon be introduced in Lagos. The agreement has been signed with Swap Station Mobility Limited. The agreement has been signed for them to bring in electric motorbikes into Lagos. So citizens of Lagos can now take motorcycles out, but this time it does not use fuel; it uses electric, and they also came with extra batteries that can easily be changed in case the battery you're using runs out. You can quickly change into another battery. So this is good news coming from Lagos. Thank you.
that's quite elaborate. Anyway, we'll bring Abuja in now. Good morning, Mary. How is Abuja today? Very
I,
unfortunate, Mary. It's off. Okay, we
I
can see here. You go ahead, Mary.
okay. I think it's the weather here. It's been raining even till now as I'm talking. It's
Is it rainy
like
season already there? I don't understand. Why is it always raining
anyway,
in
in the month
Abuja?
of even in the month of May, it's still raining. Like I think during May it's always raining, something like that. Because yesterday, the problem is it's affecting the light here. It's just on and off. It's not stable. So I don't know. And also the minister here in Abuja, yes, Wiki, as we all know, welcoming the Senegal president from the airport. So, according to the minister, the key confers on the Senegalese president all rights and President Bola Tinubu yesterday hosted the new president of Senegal. His name is Bassirou Diomaye. In the State House in Abuja, it was gathered that the meeting is the courtesy call the ECOWAS of the West African states, so authority of the state and government. And also, there's this news also by the federal government that the Nigerian Education Loan Fund will commence on May 24th this month. Okay, as the official date for opening of the portal for student loan application, hearing of the student loan application for long, and I think it will commence from 24th of this month. And the announcement was made in a statement by the media led for the mail phone, Nasia Ayantu. Yeah, these ones are being in the federal capital territory.
Anyway, we can see this beautiful picture here. I don't know what to make of that picture, but of course, I'm seeing a very troublesome, almighty wicked there seated calmly. Somebody will see him now in this picture and say, "Ah,
So
wicked is
humble.
very calm. Somebody is very humble."
He's
But
so very
we
humble.
wish, you know. And of course, we can see the young president there,
Yeah, Basiru.
uh,
Yeah.
handsomely seated. We're going to be discussing that today, the inclusiveness of the youths, in every sector of every sector in Nigeria, not just the politics, but as well every other sector. We have Edo already here with us, so I'm going to bring in Shalom. Shalom, good morning. Okay, I think they can't hear us, so we just have to move on. So Mary, what's the visit all about again?
Okay, for the Senegalese president, right?
Yes.
Okay, the visit was all about okay, when the president welcomed him in the State House, he said it was gathered that the meeting is a courtesy call on Tinubu by the newest members of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Authority of Heads of States and Governments. So I think it's all about the ECOWAS.
When you see Wike like this, you think that he's a calm person. He's a very calm person. But let's see how that plays out. Anyway, today I want us to look at, we the youths in Nigeria, the inclusiveness. Because looking at this very picture, I don't know why I'm in love with this president. Look at him, very young, and this is somebody that now our own politicians, our own leaders are now reckoning with. We know that we have a few number of young people also in different sectors in Nigeria. We have them in politics and every other sector. But still, we feel like, are we being carried along? Are we asking for too much? Is it that we choose not to be carried along? Is it that we are we are too reluctant? Before now, even before elections, we see a lot of you saying, "I beg, my vote will not count. I don't want to." So much noise coming from Edo. You need to sort that out, and then we'll bring you in. Uh, the youth will say, I don't want to vote, my vote will not count. And so these are some of the issues we'll be looking at today. What are the issues with us, the youth? Is it the elderly ones? Is it us, or is it that each time we're given opportunity, we abuse, we misuse this opportunity? These are some of the issues we'll be looking at today. And we tie that to, the visit of this president to Nigeria. Anyway, Blossom, Shalom, rather, good morning. How is Edo today?
Fine. Everything is cool. Everything is fine in Edo State. Just that we are still in the era of, election is just around the corner. So a lot is happening, a lot of news flying here and there, hitting everybody. So anyway, Benin is cool, it's calm, and we are enjoying ourselves here.
What? How is that coming up? We know that usually when we have elections around the corner, we usually have different energy. How's preparation so far?
Well, preparation is ongoing for the two major parties, although three now, because of Labour. And the major thing that is happening right now is the political rivals eating themselves with all manner of allegation. This one coming up with a story, the other one coming up with another story, this one coming out to say it's not true. It has been a funny scenario in Edo State because of the election. But, well, everything is going fine. There are no violence, no, just political activities anyway. It needs cool.
God that Benin is cool, and of course, preparations are ongoing. We hope that the citizens will make the right decisions, and of course, they will not what that sometimes we used to say. I remember before the general election, one of my motto was that the ball is in your court. Is it a champagne for a few or a good water for all? So we allow Edo State people to decide on that. Anyways, the topic I really want us to look at today, just before we go into our newspaper review, is to be the youth. I would want to ask, sometimes we feel like we're not being carried along, especially in Nigeria. We feel that, oh, we are being sidelined, we are being, abandoned. But is that true? What is it that is wrong with, youth, us, the youth? Let's talk about youth inclusiveness. What is going on? Look at different sectors. You look at even the old people, most of them, they are just holding on to power. But I want us to tie it to this. Look at these very amazing pictures. This young president here that came visiting. We remember that the president also traveled all the way to his country, of course, for the swearing in. And now look at this very young president. Is it only in Nigeria we feel that young people don't have the ability, to lead, or because the few times we've been given power, we've actually abused this power. Now let's talk. This is something I really want us to look at today. What do you think is the problem? And I want to hear from every one of us.
Yes.
Let me start with Shalom. Shalom.
Okay.
All right. For me, I have a lot on my mind as touching this issue. The truth is, if we are waiting for the government to include us in politics, we'll wait a long time. If I wait for the whole people to include us, we'll wait a long time. And the truth is, a lot of time, we young people, the youth, we think it is to be violent that will make the elderly, those leading us, to hear us. For me, I don't think violence is a way to politic. Violence for me is the biggest appreciation of weakness. I don't know if you get that. Violence for me is the greatest appreciation of weakness. The proof that we are not ready is that we are even violent. We can be strategic, in our approach. What Nigeria need, the Nigerian youth today, what we need is what I would call mental weaponry. We need to rise up, and we own the social media. In fact, most of the things these elderly ones do, we are the ones doing it for them. We are the one running the show behind the scene, and we are just being, used. For me, it is time. This image is quite inspiring. I think it's something that every youth, every young Nigerian should look at and ask themselves, why are we still the way we are? Why are we where we are? It's time to lead. But the problem is that our young people are we are proving to everyone that we are not ready, because we are not developing ourselves. We think that life ends with buying cars, trying to show up, all those stuff. We don't really know what leadership is about, because we've not trained ourselves mentally. We are not ready mentally. We are not ready for leadership because of the fact that we are not developing ourselves. We are not doing self-development. Our young people need to wake up wake up to their responsibility. The future we are to take is not tomorrow. The future we are to take is now. Today is that future, and it is high time we wake up and start doing something about it. One of the greatest undoing of this generation is lack of courage. Lack of courage, and I don't want to say also lack wisdom. So I want to speak to the youth today, those of them hearing and listening to me, that it is high time we
No,
engage
Shalom,
in
Shalom.
mental.
We're going to get to that, the advice to them, and of course the way forward. But we're just trying to look at
Okay.
some of the issues we have with the youths. I love what you said, that we are the ones actually running this, running most of this, policies and all that. Because if you look at some of the aids, even though we know that most of them are not dormant as well, we know that most of this initiative, most of these, ideas come from us, also the youth, right? And so I want to agree with you on that. But I'll go to Lagos now. David, what do you think is
Yeah.
the problem with us, the youth? And don't forget
Yeah.
also the fact that, like I said earlier, that is it that we've been given power. Anytime we give, we are allowed to come into the scene. We always find a way to misuse that opportunity. What do you think is actually the problem with us, the youths?
Okay. Thank you. The thing is, I want to tell you, we the youth, we are ready. That is just the truth. We are actually ready to take up responsibility. Now, let
That
me even
means
take
you
your mind back.
disagree. That means you disagree with Shalon.
Yes, a bit. Yes, I don't use it, but I disagree on that. We are ready. And he even answered my question. He even answered, he said, we are the one running the shows for these old men. How best can we be ready if we are the one running the shows for them? Are you getting my point now? So it means we are ready. Now, let me even take your mind back to our past head of states and their ages. Yakubu Gowon, what was his age when he became head of state? He was just 31. As a matter of fact, he was not even married when he became head of state. Muhammadu Buhari, when is the military head of state of Nigeria? He was just 36. I hope I'm correct. Olusegun Obasanjo was 38 then when he became head of state. Even General Aguiyi Ironsi was just 41 when he became head of state then. And look at how they led us. Though Buhari didn't even do much as head of state, so I was not expecting, if as youth he didn't even do much, I wasn't expecting so much from him when he became president anyway. But the youth were actually ready. But my own fear is giving us positions, and are they really giving us that? Are they giving us that leverage to work? Minister for Arts and Culture, Hannah too, Marwa, She was a copper when they appointed her as the minister. But now she's been there and have not even had no significant impact yet. If you cannot have impact now, then when? That is my problem with her. She's there, yeah, she's the minister of arts and culture. She told us she's having 8 point agenda. Now with the 8 point agenda, we have not even been able to, she has not actualized, she has not even started one of those 8 point agenda. So what is the point? Now the problem is it that she lacks ideas, or they are not giving her the the playing ground to operate? She's the one, she's in that position. She should be the one to explain to Nigerians. Let us know what the problem is. She's a youth, for crying out loud. She should not give us things about entertainment. Daddy Chris talked about something. Why are we still depending on Prime TV to showcase our movies? Why are we depending on Netflix? Can't we have Niger Flix? Are you getting my point now? She has not even given us anything yet, but we know we have a youth there. Better Edu have not even spent 6 months. It's shameful. Better Edu has not even spent 6 months, and look at what she has embezzled, over 40
also
something
maybe
billion.
also maybe David,
It's
the issue
shameful.
might be that most time we know that we've had this debate before in the past, and we'll continue to have this debate of youth inclusiveness when we talk about every other sector in Nigeria. And could it be that we the youths, anytime we're given opportunity, we misuse most of them? Look at you rightly mentioned Betty Edu. We have the likes of Yaya Bello and the rest. You think this is not the fear of our ancestors, our godfathers, and of course our elderly ones, to know that okay, sometimes they say you don't have the power, you don't have the wisdom. Sometimes they say politics is experience and all that. Sometimes they say you have to go through a process, godfatherism and all that. Do you think these are some of the issues as well?
Okay, if they are afraid that we might abuse the power, we don't have the experience, will they be there forever? That's the question we should ask ourselves. These old men, will they be on that seat forever? If we don't start taking charge now, then when? The future is now. You and I are the future. This is the right time for, in fact, like there's a proverb which says the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. We ought to have taken over power 20 years ago. We have missed it 20 years ago. Now let us start taking charge now.
But
Nobody's
but but but
we
but
can't
yes,
abuse
but
it. We are not.
Shalom, can you hear us? Okay,
Yes,
we
very
can
well. I
hear
can hear
you.
you very
Okay.
well. I can hear
Okay,
you very well.
Shalom, you did say that it's not we the youth, most time we feel is by violence and all that, but it's not
All right.
actually, it shouldn't be a violent way of taking,
Yeah.
holding on to powers and all that. So which are some of the ways you think we can actually correct this, or we can include ourselves in every other sector, especially politics?
That's why I talk about self-development. The Nigerian youth need to engage in like what I call mental weaponry. It's that time we start developing our mental capacity and look away from this frivolous lifestyle. You know, it's quite alarming the way the youth, some intelligent youth anyway, just get involved in the fun aspect of life and forget the fact that their life can be far more meaningful. So for me, they should engage in intellectual activities. They should now. Some of us are good. Some of us are good with what's it called? IT. Some of us are good with. We can come together, form a formidable team that will take over power. I think I don't think there's any youth anywhere that will see another youth that is smart, capable, have a vision, that you will not want to support that young person. It will be you just gravitate towards that young man because you know that he have what it takes. So like Mr. David was saying, it is high time we know that the future is now. We start developing ourselves, and when I use the word start developing ourselves, it's not like we have not been developed because we have a lot of experience. We have a lot of experience. It's just that we've not been given the opportunity to put it to practice. It's high time we start entering this position and practicing what we got so that these people also can look at us. Okay, they think we're ready. If the truth,
They're relevant.
if the leaders, our elders, if they are thinking that we're not ready, okay, by what yardstick are they judging that? Why are they saying what they are saying? So for me,
Network, I guess.
Wow. Yes, yes, yes. Very
Anyway,
interesting point there.
I am, yes, very, very interesting topic. Anyway, I'm quite worried as well. Now, in as much as we say, oh, we are ready, we need to go. Most of us, the youth, it's usually good when everybody speak with the same voice. And
Same
just like
voice,
what we
yes.
saw during NSAS, there's something that is so unique about NSAS. That was because every Nigerian youth stood for one thing. They were saying one thing. They
Yeah.
didn't have to, fight against each other. In fact, we saw pure love, true love amongst the youth. And maybe that was why there was something that came out of NSAS. Now, when we
Yeah.
say youth inclusiveness in every other sector, politics and every other sector, so I feel like sometimes we, the youth, we are the problem as well. Do you know why I say that, David? Because sometimes when we talk about, for instance, election, we say, let's have free, fair, credible elections. We campaign for that, and then during the election, maybe the election day, you will see young people coming at snatching ballot boxes and all that. These are people that are not in any way contesting for any position, and that means they're actually doing this for someone. And so we
Yes.
are, I feel like we, the youth, as well, we are the tools that are being used against ourselves.
Ourselves. Thank you. You are so correct. During the last election, I actually covered the election. Somewhere around Iyanoba, I saw the youth snatching ballot box and taking it into the Oba's palace. And what happened after that? I couldn't go in with them anyway, but it's something I saw. Also in Abeokuta too. Same thing happened. You see, and the painful thing is, we the youth, we allow these men use us. And there's one thing I always tell people that the Chris made mention of the same thing yesterday, that I'm very, very excited about it. He said, if you have sold your votes, if you have collected 3,000 naira, a cup of rice, face cap, crested face cap, and t-shirts, or Ankara, or whatever they give to you, please, for the next 4 years, don't complain. That should be enough for you for the next 4 years. So you don't have the right to complain. It means even with the youth, we are also part of the problem. In as much as we want to blame our leaders for not leading us right, we also part of the problem. Are we not the ones snatching ballot boxes? Are we not the ones sending our votes? This same violence we're talking about, is it those old men who are going about with cutlass? Is it not still we the youths? Why should we allow ourselves to be used? And this is where we need to change our orientation. When we talk about wealth, prosperity, it shouldn't be based on money alone. There's something called we need to change this orientation, that if you don't have money, then you are not relevant. And that's one of the problem with the youth. These days we celebrate money, we celebrate wealth. We don't even care where this wealth is coming from. Oh, my guy don't make am. Oh, my guy is now driving this, my guy is driving that. That is what we the youth celebrate. Putting on the latest shirt, putting on the latest jean, the latest shoes. This is what we now celebrate. And we now forget that a time would come if those lifestyle can no longer maintain that lifestyle, can no longer afford those things again. That is when you start going into crimes. They start becoming internet fraudsters, robbery, and all the rest. So what I'm trying to say here in essence is, it is high time the youth not we should be put in important positions. I mean, how old was Obama when he became the president of the strongest nation of the world? Well, he was not even up to 50. What was the age of John F. Kennedy then? I'm sorry. I always like, when in my own kind of analysis, I like to take us back to the past. That is I don't know if it's a problem. That is just me. What was Obama's age? He did well. What was John F. Kennedy's age? Go and look at American presidents. What was their age when they became president? Even Nigeria, we should not even go that far. Yeah, in Nigeria, go and check the age of our head of state. They were in their 30s. When
They were in their
became,
30s, but these same
yes.
people, when they were in their 60s, 70s, they came back to want
Do
to
you know the
sit on
problem?
the seat or hold
Yes.
on to the same power.
Precious, whether you like
So
it or
what is
not,
the problem?
whether you like it or not, the older you get, the weaker you become. You cannot give what you gave 30 years ago, you cannot give it now when you are 60. It's not possible. Now, you and I can move from London to anywhere, from Lagos to Ikorodu, go and ask what's happening. Please, can Tinubu do that? Buhari traveled from here to, each time he travels, comes back sick. Each time he travels from here to there, he comes back sick. What's that? For how long? And let me even tell you something is, even the brain itself gets its age, it gets old. There's some things you can't even remember at a certain age. I'm not talking about somebody who having dementia now, no, but naturally, even the brain will not even function at that at that level again. So it is just normal. So what are we saying in essence? It is high time the youth start content. Let us support ourselves. Like you said, they not even use the youth against themselves. That is the problem. These
But what
elderly men
can
are
we
also
do
smart.
now? I know that Shalom was giving us some tips here what we can do, but at the end of the day, we still know that is it that we're not doing enough? Do we need more awareness? Because the youth, like I said, the only thing that was peculiar, the only thing that was unique about NSAS was because the youth actually spoke with one voice. They stick together. There was pure true love amongst the youth,
Yeah.
and of course we saw what happened. But during election, we will say that let's have credible elections. Let's do this, and at the end of the day, it's still the youth that are being used. These old people can't come out to snatch ballot boxes. They can't come out, to cause mayhem. It's still the youth that they are being used, that are being used to, carry out these evil acts. Now, what can we do apart from what we already said? Because this one with this mindset, do you think is poverty? Is it because sometimes when they offer them a certain amount they can't refuse, they will want to do that. I tell you a story, there's this popular hotel in Warri. I think it used to be the biggest then, but I don't know now. Wellington Hotels. They're just around PTI Junction. That is very popular. And way back we had a guy that is a friend to my friend. So he used to come to even our house then. We just sit in front of my house. Do you know this guy? I don't know what happened, but during the election, he actually was working for one politician. And they were having this issue. This was like how high is that building? I don't know if it's 15-story building or 20 or so. And then he had issues with the opposition, the other guys from the other party. And this guy was thrown from that up down. He didn't die, but of course he broke all, like every other bone in the body was broken.
Oh my
He was
God. Oh
taken
my.
abroad everywhere he could not be treated. Do you know that these guys are store as when they say somebody's store, but all of a sudden this guy was coming, he shrink, the body became so, it became like became like a child. When I went there, I cried, we cried, we prayed, we did everything. But what am I trying to say? This is somebody, able-bodied youth that choose, he chose to work with a politician. And as I speak to you, the politician, the children, the wife, they are still work to do today, but the guy is no more. So these are some of the issues. Sometimes they are tempted, sometimes it's the money, sometimes lack of jobs here. So when the job come, okay, let me just do only this one, and of course, I won't do it again. What can be done seriously? Shalom.
Wow, the story that you just gave is very sad, but funny enough, that's the reality that has you know that we have been faced with over the years. It's very disheartening, though. But the truth is, if you know, you know. You know, I think that it's high time the young people begin to work with a certain line of knowledge that the man you are killing yourself for today, that you're actually supposed to be leading in reality, because the strength of the youth is his pride. And this nation needs such level of strength to be able to push to where we should be. Like Mr. David was already analyzing, the old people are already closer. In fact, it's not a cause. It's just, I said this on here some time ago. I think you were not around, Princess. I said that in another 25 years, 30 years, 15 years, most of the people we know today in the political terrain will be no more. That's the reality. Some of them will be 100 or something, some of them will be long gone. So what become of the young man today? So if you should kill yourself for that man that is coming to a particular position, that wants to be a president, a governor, whatever, and you kill yourself for him, in another 15 years, that man will be no more. What happened to you? So the line of knowledge I want the young people to be to work with is the fact that you don't assume that you know. You should know that you know. Know the fact that if I kill myself for this man today, his children will be alive, but I will not be. He may be gone in another 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, but what happened to me? So the earlier we realize this fact, the better for us, so that we should begin to drive the energy. Like you rightly mentioned, Princess, these people don't snatch ballot boxes. They use us, they promise us, and then we run into it and put some of us, some of the youth are facing bullets every day in some circles, all for these same people. Why can't you do it for a fellow youth? Why can't you stand up and say enough is enough? That's why I was talking about revolution, not violence, but a mental, a strategic revolution. Something that should happen in this nation that will make the old people realize that it's no longer game as usual. Let's change the game. I'm urging everyone. Let's change the game. Let's show these people that we are capable. We've been leading from a luta continua. We've been leading. These people know that they know what we are capable of. They know in our own little we've been leading, so we can do something. We can break through.
I love that. And later continue. Anyway, we have Mary here with us now. I hope she will stay longer this time. And I would really love to hear from a lady's opinion. Mary, what do you think? We the youths, we are just there. I don't know. I don't even know where we did. They are using us, but nothing is coming out. We have very few in position, and maybe in a cabinet of maybe 100, they give like 4 youths. We say, hey, the youths were included. Is it supposed to be so? What do you think we're not doing right, and what's the way forward?
And the thing is, it's not like I would say, let the youth take over. Let's take a look at our electoral system right now. How can the youth take over when these people keep on manipulating the youth and they feel like they are the ones that have power? So it continues from this old person to another old person to another old person. You understand? So, but the only thing I have to say is, even if things are difficult, when you keep on doing it, definitely you find it easy. Consistency, they say, is the key. So I feel like if youth want to delve into politics, they should delve into politics with their full chest and keep doing it. One day they will get to that place which we all aspire to be like. Because if you want to look at the present situation of the country, what is happening, it looks as if there is no hope for the youth. It looks as if there is no place for the youth. But I feel like it looks like when you keep on showing up on something every day, definitely you win one day. So let the youth keep doing better as regards the happenings in the country, as regards bettering the country. If they keep doing it, putting more strategies on how to better the situation of the country. So I feel like things will get better, and they will have their own place in the country as leaders of tomorrow.
But
Wow.
sincerely, I want to give credit to the youth, so because I covered the last election and I think we did well. I don't know. I speak for I was in Abuja, and so I knew we went around town, and the energy, from one poly unit to another. In fact, I drove around Abuja that day. I was just going from one place to another, and you could see that our youth. It was interesting to know that it was something almost similar to NSAS. They even started cooking on poly units that we will stay here and count our votes. But like Mary said, it's painful that Shalon is not here. I want Shalon back, please. Like Mary said, that if the electoral system is bad, it is going to be difficult, even though we know that, okay, we'll keep trying. But first, let's correct the electoral system. And of course, the judiciary as well. That's another tool they are using against everybody. The judiciary and of course the electoral system. Sometimes with the youth, we say, okay, we are willing, we'll come out, but we know there's something also, David, that in politics, I don't know if it's just a personal opinion, but in Nigerian political sector, we've seen that, there is this pattern of governance, pattern of ruling that before somebody leaves office, they would have prepared who they want to hand over to, or the party would have been gearing up to see that this person will take over the power. So it's like, a deal, they enter into deal, and all that. And that's why we keep seeing past governors and the city ones fighting. Case of Fubara and Wike. Who knows what the deal was? There must have be a pact or a deal that this is what will happen. I'm leaving office now. I'll make sure you come into power, and then when you come into power, this is what you're supposed to do, right? And we know that that has been a pattern in Nigeria. Talking about even at the presidential level now, federal level. I think that's the same thing because I remember then years back I used to cover event from where even President ex-President Muhammadu Buhari was contesting, vying for that position. So it's as if they sometimes they conclude that as if I'm leaving office, we'll hand over to this, and they work towards that. And maybe that is where the problem is, Shalom, don't you think?
Sorry, I didn't quite follow the question. Sorry.
No, I was saying
Okay.
Hello,
that
Princess.
even yes, I can hear you. There's something in Nigerian political system, right? It's like a pattern where
Yeah.
political elites they feel like, okay, I'm seated now, I'm in this position, but if I'm leaving, I'm going to hand over to this person. Or they work towards, there's
Oh.
this formidable force to say, okay, work with me, and when I'm leaving, I'll do this for you, you take over. And now they don't care at that point whether is another person is vying for that same position. So they do everything within their powers, and for the fact that they've been in that position, so it's most time easy for them to bring people in that position as well. I feel that is one of the major problems too that they are using, or one of the tools they are using against
Yeah.
the youth as well.
Yeah. It's in fact not just the youth, it's the reason why the country is where it is. That's what brings about backwardness because we are not looking at the potential of the person, like the person that is trying to hand over to someone else. He does not care who this person is, he does not care what this person is capable of. He just feel he holds that person, and it's sad. And I think it's high time we young people begin to change the narrative. It's high time we change the narrative. It's high time we get to the point where we say no to some of these things because we keep going back instead of moving forward. If this kind of things remains, we'll keep going backwards. So I think it's time that the youths have a clear-cut agenda among themselves. Clarity is very, very important. We should know what we want to achieve. If it's the presidential seat we want to start with, if it's from governorship, let's have a goal and start pursuing it. Clarity is important because when we know better, we will do better. So I really want us to begin to look at some of the things that are against our progress as a nation and begin to, make intentional moves against them as young people. Like you rightly mentioned, this is why we are where we are. Now, this is why the youth is not entry position. We should change the narrative. Because even the man that is trying to hand over to someone else is trying to use the youth to achieve that. So we can
Achieve
cut
that
that bridge.
exactly.
Yes, we can cut that bridge. We can. We can.
I agree
Okay,
with
can I comment
you.
on that?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm sorry, I might have a little contrary opinion to yours, but
Go
if you
ahead.
can,
Let's hear you.
if you can
Yeah.
really understand me, we are still saying the same thing. Now, if I'm leaving a seat of power and I'm recommending someone else, it should not be a problem if I'm doing it with the right intention.
Of
Please, the
course.
right intention. Now that I'm living somewhere, if I have done well, and the people know I have done well. If I am leaving and I bring someone else, because I have done well, the people will also believe in who I am bringing on board.
Yeah.
I hope you
Of
agree with
course.
me. So this
Yeah,
is
of
where
course. Of course.
intention, this is where intention comes in. Then, even if I'm bringing somebody to replace me, I must allow that person to work. That is where our own leaders are getting it wrong. You want to be a godfather, no problem. Why don't you say, instead of being a godfather, make yourself a stakeholder? I think being a stakeholder is better than being a godfather. Because as a stakeholder, you are partner in progress. You work together to make this person achieve success. But if you're a godfather, you dictate, you tell the person what you should do or what you should not do. So bringing somebody on board, if I'm leaving, if you have done well, of course, the people will believe in the person I'm bringing. But at the same time, let the people decide. I cannot impose. The moment I begin to impose my own candidates on the people, forcefully put my own person in seat, it means there's an ulterior motive. It means the motive is not longer genuine. I hope you get to the point. It means the motive is no longer genuine. So
We are speaking the
bringing
same thing.
somebody,
We are on the same page.
thank you. It means you understand me. It means you understand what I'm saying. So leaving somebody, bringing someone else is not a problem, but the intention is what matters now. Why am I bringing this person? Why am I bringing Shalom on board because I'm leaving? Is it because Shalom is somebody I can toss around?
No,
Why am I not picking
most time,
Mary?
if like I said, David, most time, if you look at the political sector or the pattern so far in Nigeria, it's because there's this thing that comes with compensation.
Thank
Somebody like
you.
Wike now did help. Let's use Wike as a case study. What happened during the past election? Wike delivered. That is the truth. And now the president, not minding that Wike is from opposition party, but the fact that he was there, he delivered, and hence, the ministerial slots or that position. And so these are some of the issues. And so
Yeah.
we have been debating on this, not because they deserve it, but because we need to compensate them. This person was there for me, so it has become a paddy kind of government, and
Yeah.
that is
That is
what
not,
we see.
thank you. That is another problem. When you begin to compensate people because they assisted, we know we've said this a couple of times on this program. And the moment it's become, don't forget that this government will become entitled because he will be like,
And
that is
that
what
is
Wiki
what
is
we're
happening
seeing
now.
from Fubara and
Even
Wike right
Wiki
now.
is feeling entitled
Yeah.
that I made him. Oh, and what did you make? The people voted for him. So you didn't make anybody. Yes, you might
You are just
suggest
one man. You
somebody
only
to the
casted
people.
one vote.
Yes, you might suggest
Yeah.
somebody to the people, and the people accepted the person and voted for him. Now,
But
the
you can
problem with this
see that, but
confederalism
you
is
can see that this particular pattern has actually destroyed our electoral,
Process.
system in the country.
process.
Yeah.
Because look at process in the country. Look at River State, a case study that even some of the lawmakers now, they are not taking side. Is a divided house. Some are telling you, and that's what we'll be reading on the papers shortly, that they rather go with Wike that is no longer the governor, and Wike that is now at the federal level. This shows that these people will go at any length if you don't obey them, or if you don't do whatever they are asked you to do,
Obliged.
or
Yeah.
their
So
wish, then it becomes the problem. They do not care about the state or about the citizens.
For the
It's
people,
about
yes.
them. Anyway, we
Yes,
hope
I
that
totally
the
agree.
youth will listen to us, and we hope that we've done justice to this, and the youth will sincerely know that if you can actually be used to snatch, whatever it is, work for them. That means you can work for yourself. Don't work for anybody. Use that energy for yourself. Let's see what comes
exactly.
out.
Somebody was saying that it means Fubara was actually a kind of obedient to him. He was loyal to Wike before he got to that place. So why betraying Wike at this point? So I said to myself, you see, it's difficult for our youth to lead, right? Fubara is very young. If this is the way he can actually get there as the governor of Rivers State, then to me it's not bad. And you cannot say that if Wike is telling him the wrong thing to do, that will not better the state. He should do it because Wike put him there. Yes, it's normal thing for him to be humble to him, for him to be loyal to him. But if he get there and he sees the right thing to do, so I feel like he should actually delve into doing the right thing. So that's my take on it. Because you see, this is
and
the
and,
way
and
that
even and even and even Kogi states, we can see that even at the time EFCC was EFCC has been hunting for Ayaya Bello. We saw that even the sitting governor is saying that we don't have any issues with him. Everything is slate is clean and all that. This shows how paddy they run the country. And these are youth, so you can imagine. Maybe that's why they don't take us serious as well. Anyway, we hope
Really?
that
But if
Anyway,
this
we
is the
hope
youth
that
that our
somehow.
youth start taking over, then they should keep doing it though. Consistency. They should still keep doing the loyal stuff and getting the positions so that they'll take over from these old people. That's what I think.
And
But
after
Ambode
getting
did
that
it.
position, we do what is right.
But in Lagos State, Ambode did it, and eventually he was not allowed to come back second term. Even after all the kings in Lagos, no, 7 kings makes up Lagos State. The
Now
Awori, the Ikorodu, Badagry.
that is one
Yet,
story that actually got to me. The fact that the fact that he couldn't come back, he kept begging as if he did something wrong. I think that the
of course, he
political
did
system
something
in
wrong.
Nigeria, they need to overhaul it. I don't understand. Anyway, we've discussed so much on that, and we move quickly. So, Shalom, why are you laughing?
Let's ask
You know,
David, how
this
did
is
you
funny.
get wrong? What did you do?
This is how made it sound. They sounded like, let's do the right thing for the wrong reason, or let's do the wrong thing for the right reasons. When you say let's serve these people, all right, so they can shift power to us. No, we don't need them to shift take the power. As I was laughing.
We don't need to lie. We don't need to deceive them. Let them know we want to take charge.
Oh,
We
let
cannot.
them know.
We don't
We are the
we
ones
don't need
in
to
charge,
serve
actually.
them. We don't need to serve
Even if you
them.
don't
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
let them know, how the one that we have been to
Because
let them know.
David, maybe because you don't have the financial strength, maybe because you don't have, what it takes, and so you need to enter there by hook or by crook. You know that kind of saying.
Maybe they are
What do
saying
you think?
let them know we not work. Oh.
What
But
if
say
I
let them know
contribute?
that
You
that want
contribute.
to take
Mary
over. Take over
contribute
from
to
people
make
that want to
Shalom
have
the president of Nigeria. What if every youth contributes to support
Lady
Shalom and make
B,
him for
the
president?
youths are rich.
What about
Let me
that?
tell you
even
why.
for you to
One
contribute.
of the
During
reasons why
NSAS,
they are fighting crypto.
during
One
NSAS,
of the
the
reasons
youth
why they are
One
fighting
at
contributed. Do
a
you
crypto
know?
time.
is
One
because
at a
youth
time.
have money.
No, during
One
NSAS,
of
the
the
youth
reasons they are fighting
contributed.
crypto is because the
David,
youth have money. They
David,
know
no.
what we can do. They know what we are capable
David,
of.
stand on.
We
Let
are
me tell you what
intellectual
I say.
people. We
You were not
can
talking because you're on the media.
stay.
Yes, why all the youth
We
contribute
can hold
money
the
and buy
stage to ransom.
Can you fight them when it comes to election results? So when the result is that, what will you say? The youth we tried, but at the end of the day we didn't win. You cannot say let them know that we are out. That is not.
No.
You don't know a
Mary
lot
is
of
Maybe you are
always
getting it wrong. We are the strength of these
Mary
old
is always
people.
using on the electoral process. It's not about coming out
all
to
the
vote,
results.
coming out en masse, voting, casting, all the youth coming out to vote. It's about the result, not the process she's talking about. Mary feels that they
You don't
have
know
the
how
power
the
to
result
manipulate
goes.
the
You people
the
don't know how the
results.
result goes. You don't know. You don't know that you just be here. Maybe you know that maybe Abuja has a lot of wins from maybe PDP. You just see that Abuja APC, when you be seeing it on the television, you be quarreling, you be complaining online. You cannot do anything about it. That's what I'm saying. So if I feel like if there's a young person that can even
If
be
you
loyal
understand
and
the
get to that
intellectual,
position, fine.
the
Let them
level
go
of
through that meet.
if
Let
you
them go
Shalom,
understand
through
go
the
that
ahead.
level of
they do the needful.
if you understand
Yes, they can just
the
tell you
level
that
of
being loyal.
intelligence that the youth have or possess, you will know that it will be difficult for the old people to sway us. It will be difficult. We are listen. We are their eyes. We are their strength. We are their everything. This so-called
So what is stopping
internet
us,
manipulation.
Shalom? What
Anybody
is
can.
stopping us? Why are we not there? What is stopping us? If you because you just describe us now, if we are all this, what then could be the
Yeah.
problem?
The problem is that I think it's what I spoke about before. We are focusing on frivolities. Somebody need to champion the cause anyway, because when someone like you, someone like Dave, and we keep talking and they keep listening to what they can do, it will be an inspiration. Like the picture you put on here today is an inspiration. Seeing a young man being a president of a country is an inspiration. So the more we do this, the more they will start realizing
Senegal is not Nigeria.
we're like the sleeping giants.
We should be. We
Yes,
are
we're
bigger
like
than
the sleeping
Senegal.
giant. We are
bigger than Senegal. That's the
we
fact.
are.
Peter
Way
Obi
bigger.
tried it.
Okay, maybe because we are bigger, it means that we cannot do it.
We are
Obi
bigger,
tried
which means
it.
we can do better than this. We can do it.
We
That's
can
what
do
I'm
way
saying.
That's
better.
right.
We can do way better than Senegal. If Senegal can do it, why can't we do it?
We can if they
Let me
can.
tell
That
We
is
should,
the word.
yes.
All
We should
about
even
having
be the
youth
first.
that will come and say, okay, let's fight to become president. Are you grounded in this politics thing? There's one thing that they call politics is a dirty game. There's a system. The political system in Nigeria is not clean. You understand what I'm saying? Can you go through that means?
Mary, who makes it dirty?
Mary,
makes it
Mary,
dirty?
I
You and
think
I.
The youth that made
Mary,
it dirty.
We make it dirty now. Then let's clean it up ourselves. No, don't see. I
So
don't.
when you clean it up, will you get there? Will you get there?
The
Yes,
youth
you cannot
that
have
made
a
it
lot of
dirty,
work.
and we are the ones to clean up the
We
mess.
didn't have
See,
We want to
it's
clean up the
our,
mess.
it's our mess. It's our dirty. We'll be not to clean our dirty ourselves. It's our linen. We stand it. We
Mary,
dirty
Yes,
our
we
linen.
can.
Mary, I think we can actually clean it up. I think we can face it head on. Look at what
I
Fubara is
don't
doing
think
now.
go through them.
We
You
can
have to
push
go
Fubara to the wall, and Fubara is now reacting. You know, it gets to a
But
point when
It's reacting.
you cannot
We need to
understand
get
it. Was
see,
there
we
through
need
weekend.
orientation. We need
Why
to first
emerge
orientate
the winner on
ourselves.
his own? Did he emerge the winner on his own? He was there through weekend. You will still have to follow through these people's means. You still have to follow them to get to that.
must you follow them, Mary? That
for
is the
how
thing.
long? Lady,
Even
for
if they
how
are
long?
leading you into fire, must you follow them?
Why don't you need to serve them?
Follow them.
When you get there, you do the right thing. When you get there, you do the right thing. That is
See,
just
I will say this on here. Me, when I was in school, I was invited over by a brigadier general who is also in politics. We were about 10 in number. He wanted us to go and destroy somewhere in Kwara State. I can even mention his name if you want me to mention his name on here. You understand?
Don't
He invited
mention
10 of us. That's okay on election day. Of course, that we should come and we should go to some areas in Kwara State, Ilorin, to snatch ballot box here. And they brought guns. This is not somebody said, it is me. I was in school then. They gave us guns, machetes, everything, and a bus that would take us to those venues to go and perpetrate this evil. But I finished my exam then, and I was my final year. I just felt, okay, why do I need to do this? And I remember one of those areas, my sister stays there. What if I go there and mistakenly they hit my sister? And as soon as we left the man's house, I told my brother, I'm not going to be part of this. And they promised us money. Then each of us won 1 million naira.
Okay, David, you're trying to tell us just because your sister lives there. Okay, let's assume your sister was not there. Would you have gone?
I would still have gone because the money was even enough for me. I would still have gone. The money was enticing enough. Before we go, they're going to give us 1 million naira. When we come back, also they will also compensate us. So, but I refused. I told my friends, guy, me, I'm not going to do this thing. No. Some of my friends are like, they call me delicious. Why now? See, I'm not going to. I don't want to be part of this. And I took my bag. The following day, I left Ilorin and came to Lagos, and that was it. So, what am I saying in essence is, it's that time that we shouldn't allow ourselves to be deceived with money or something.
We should start for something. Yeah,
we should start for something.
At
the end of the day, if I have done it and the guy has won, the guy eventually his candidate won. Now, if something things are not going right,
they will not know you. Tomorrow they see you on the road, they'll splash water all over you. They don't know you. That is it.
Yeah.
His nephew happens to be our friend. And the painful thing is, his nephew is our friend. It was his nephew that contacted us. The guy came out from the University of Jos, contacted us. But this man has children, though. His sons are not in Nigeria. In fact, his wife is not in Nigeria. He stays alone in that big mansion with bodyguards, about 6 of them.
So these are some of the issues, and we do hope that the youths will hear us.
Why can't he call his children?
Yes, loud and clear.
Why can't he invite his children? And his nephew was not going to follow us. Do you know his nephew was not going to go with us?
And because you are being paid for the job now, it's your job. You've been paid, so you carry it out. This is how they deceive the youth. They bring so much stolen money anyway. They bring so much stolen money they give to the youths, and of course they allow the youth to go and carry out this evil. Anyway,
it's disheartening.
We are appealing to our youth and Nigerian youth to stand for something. If they can, you can. If they can be there, you can be there. So why do you have to, go through the stress, maybe losing your life or destroying your own family, destroying your own community for them, destroying your peace for them, just for peanuts, something you can actually get in the future, a lot of money. Anyway, that would be a good place to draw the cutting of that segment. We'll quickly go into the newspaper review. We don't have time. We'll go into the reviews now, but before then, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, paper segments will continue. Stay with us, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than Srtv Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortly apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can reach us by calling this number 070-6237-9915 or 080-7082-7331.
Hello, viewers. You're welcome back from that quick break. Yes, we'll go quickly now to the newspaper reviews, and we're going to, as usual, punch it this morning. Mary.
And the big headline says Tinubu OK's payment of 3.3 trillion power sector, 3.3 trillion naira power sector debt. And the writer says Genco's gas producers to get 1.3 trillion naira and also $1.3 billion via cash, promissory notes, royalties. And you can find this story on page 21 of the Punch newspaper. Also, there's a story here that says at the top left, federal government labors to negotiate 48,000 naira proposal Tuesday, and that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government opens students loan portal from May 24, and that story is on page 3 of the Punch newspaper. Reps probe Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, and that story is on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. Apologize for offensive Nazi post that irate Nigerians attack UK journalists, and that story is on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. My opponents are defeated. This is coming from Fubara, and that story is on page 11, page 7 of the Punch newspaper. 20 trillion naira pension fund saved, coming from federal government, and that story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. 36 assembly speakers back state police, and that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. And there's a story here that says my husband diverted hospital funds, stranded nursing mom, and that story is on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. INEC warns against incubancy power abuse in Edo and Ondo, and you can find that story on page 11 of the Punch newspaper. And here there's a story that says ECOWAS, Senegalese president vows talks with Niger and Mali, and that story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. And here you can see a picture of the Senegalese president with the Nigerian president and two other people on the Punch. These are all the stories you have this morning on the Punch newspaper.
Quite a lot coming from the Punch this morning, but a very disturbing story here. Before we talk about politics, we've been talking about politics. I feel for this woman here. What's happening with her husband, Mary? How can the husband do that?
Um,
The nursing mother, stranded nursing mother, and we can see that something is fixed to her nose. I think
I
that's
think he's in
oxygen. I don't know
pain.
if I'm
I think he's already in pain, and the husband diverted the money that they're supposed to use for the hospital bills. But it's not every man that has sense. It's just some women are lucky to get married to sensible men. So when you find yourself in this kind of situation, it's really a pity. Like for her now, pitying her, you get, because you can imagine what she's really passing through. Somebody in this kind of position, and this is what the husband can do. A man that is supposed to take good care of you is actually even killing you at this point.
I
So I feel
actually
so.
I came across that story. Like the man had diverted the funds, used it for business or something, and
Yeah, is it supposed to
to
be
the
for business
hospital.
or for the human at first? Is it
Yeah,
not?
it's supposed to treatment, but he
Yeah,
said he used it for a particular business.
So what is the nursing mother supposed to do then? That is actually heartbreaking.
it's not
And this
business.
boils down to
It's sad.
this boils down to our our health sector as well. I think some of these policies should be changed. Some of these systems should be flexible as well. And now I know that there was one time a young girl, I was at the hospital and they say a young girl just ran away because she has been there some months, and the parents stopped coming at some point because of the high medication. The medication they were giving to her, the rate, the amount was so much, and the parents actually abandoned her. And after I think the hospital too was treating, because the parent promised to come and pay eventually. And at some point, she tried to run away. I went to see the doctor that morning, and the nurses ran out. We're looking for her, and they went to a certain motor park. She was trying to leave that town, and they caught her. So these are some of the issues. Somebody that's been on medication, that has been unwell, running so fast to get away. These are some of the issues. So I think our health system as well, there must be something they can do in cases like this, special cases like this, because this woman now might before she will start having BP, and this will not add to her problem.
Our problems,
Because
yes.
we have a case of an irresponsible husband and father. We're talking about
Very
your child.
irresponsible.
Yes.
Yes.
Very irresponsible.
And also,
I think
gunshot victims.
from the story I'm even reading here, maybe it's the woman's side of the story. It wasn't even a business that the man used the money for. From what is on the Punch page, he used it to buy a phone and a dog. He diverted the money to buy a phone and a dog.
Yes.
My God, help us.
It's,
Some women married.
except he used phone and dog for business. I don't know, but it's
Exactly.
very sad.
Yes. Yes.
It's very
For
sad.
like they believe the dogs will yield something at the end. Like get the details of that story. He bought a dog with
About
the
the
money.
wife. Isn't that
The
supposed to take
dog.
care of her first?
This is
It's
why I
like-
usually
And
tell
also-
young girls. This is why I tell young ladies, for those that will care to listen, and young men, you when you want to go into a particular profession, you prepare. Like the world is going to come to an end. If you want to become a medical doctor, you prepare. When it comes to marriage, you don't prepare. You prepare yourself to avoid this kind of disaster. You prepare
Shalom.
yourself. You should know what marriage is all about.
Stand up.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
pray. People change. Let me tell you. People change. Let me
But
tell you.
also, princess,
Let me give you an example.
princess.
No. See, it can't be this bad. Even if people change, it can't be this bad.
No, Shalom,
So,
it can be. It can be. It can
someone's
be.
life,
Shalom, I'm sorry
you
to
are treating someone's life with a phone
Shalom.
and a dog.
You know,
Shalom,
you're
it can
not
be.
married, though. But you know the kind of temptation that comes with marriage. People change. People will tell you there's some
Can
red
it be
flags.
that bad with you, Mr. David?
Mary, are you married? You are saying Shalom is not married. Mary, are you married?
No, the thing is, you don't understand. Even if you are not married, though, they are not married. But that red flag that you're saying you will
Who
see.
is married here? Who is
I
married?
know you might not see that red flag in relationship. You will see the red flag
Apart
in
from
marriage.
Daddy Chris.
Just pray for God to help you.
No, you people should call Princess. Princess is a woman. Let her come and decide this one.
Yes, we can. None of us here is married, so none of us can talk about it. Let the married people deal with this.
I know, but there's some red
anyway,
flags you see in marriage.
but anyway, in as much as I know people change, and don't forget that either men or women, especially women, we pretend a lot. I tell you the truth. We can pretend, and for over years, we can pretend to stay in that place. Know that for a fact. But in as much as people change, sometimes we know that that is why on my relationship show I used to do then, we talk about red flags, we talk about these things. Sometimes the signs are there. Sometimes
They are always there.
unconsciously you see these things, but because you're so much
You
in
ignore.
love, you just get carried away and you overlook these things. If not, how can a new father abandon the wife and the child and go and get a dog and a phone? No, that is the height of
So
it.
that's why what
That-
I'm still saying, and before Mary cuts in, let me still say that. You see, people say love is blind. You need someone like me to, open your eyes so that you will not be blindly in love.
No.
And
See,
Mr. David,
Shalom,
let me ask you a question. Mr. David, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yes. Go on.
Can you be this bad? When you get married tomorrow, can you be this bad? If you say people change, so I'm asking you, can
course.
you change this bad?
Of course, it can't be this bad. But
Are
even
we
if my
talking
love,
about
I
ourselves?
cannot be this bad. See,
Right?
your love,
People
love is
about
blind, but let your love have a walking stick. Let it be a blind love with a walking stick. Like if Lady Toby said, my love is
No.
blind, but the love has a walking stick.
David, I know, I disagree. The fact that I feel like love is not blind. I feel like the people are blind, not the love.
People are
Thank
blind.
you
Love
very
is
much.
very, very love
Love can
is not blind.
see. Love have sense. Love our brains.
Anyway, we
Love
move
is
on now. There's a story here that says my opponents are defeated. Fubara, congratulations to you on that. We see how that unfolds. We wait for Wike to respond to that. My opponents are defeated. And there's
Wike
a
is still
story
busy
here.
with
There's,
Senegalese president.
and maybe that is why, because he's having a visitor. He's just decided, yeah, he's being
He
calm
does not have his
and
start
waiting for
yet.
his visitor to leave so that we can see the true and real Wike once again. Anyway, there's
Okay.
a story here that says FG open student loan portal May 24. Shalon, are you excited about this?
good news for the
Nigeria.
young people. Good news for students. For me, it's good. Let them also partake of some of the things that comes from presidency. This is beautiful. It's a beautiful one. I'm really happy that the portal is open now. Young people, students can actually access at least, no matter how little it is something that will help them to rise above some of their challenges, immediate little challenges around it. For me, it's a good one. It's a good one. I love my president anyway, even though a lot of people don't love him. I love Mr. Tinubu. I have this good feeling that
Shut up.
something good will come out of
You
him.
not talk
Yes,
about the negativity that will come with this students' loan. This is Nigeria. Oh. But
yes, of
let's
course.
not
We know. Me and you, we already know.
let's not talk.
you,
Maybe, but in anything in life, there must be a positive and a negative part to
yeah,
it,
yeah.
disadvantage and advantage. So
You want
sometimes we
to be
should
going
just
to
see
prison for
what
this student loan, eh? Like water. Let me see, Sha.
Nobody will go to prison. No, it won't be that bad. Why will you go? Why will they send you to prison because you are owing debt? Of
Oh my
course,
god.
you are owing debt. You pay. They'll look for. At least they promise that after the student education, will be given a job where they'll be able to
Of
pay back
course.
this debt
Yeah.
or the loans he has collected. So,
and that is only
will you
if
go
you
to prison? Don't be
if you
afraid, Mary.
okay, and
Nobody will
that
be in
is only
jail.
if you actually get a job, right? Though if you don't get a job, what happens? Or you decide to go into business, what happens?
Maybe say
Spending
you
the
Then
time,
you
you
get a
mind
job.
know.
your business.
A job in this
You take
is
mind
there
your business.
are there jobs in the country? You said they'll be giving a job from here. In Ghana or here in Nigeria, yeah, they'll be giving a job.
Mary, your
If the
vibe
president
today, I'm
will,
trying to understand what is happening.
I don't understand Mary, so even me, I'm scared.
Because they are
Anyway,
fallacy now. They are
we
fallacy.
have
They can't
we
deceive
have
us. Where is the job?
please,
we have other stories
well,
here, but like what we discussed earlier. There's a story here that actually explain that our discussion better here. That says INEC warns against incumbency power abuse in Edo Ondo. The fact that you are in power and now because somebody else is coming, you want to dictate or decide who takes over. That is one major
Yeah.
issue, and thank God we discussed on that today. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have.
Okay, maybe I should take the Guardian, right?
All right.
okay.
The Guardian. Okay, and the big story says legacy of waste, abandoned projects, dot Southwest amid push of scarce resources to new ones. And that story is on page 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. And here we have another story that says rising cost of drugs worsen steep rise in hypertension cases. And that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Family laments death of 41-year-old mother of 6 in Enugu crossfire. And you can find that story on page 8 of the Guardian newspaper. And then there's a story that says terrorism. Nigeria needs partnership, not handouts. Federal government tells US. And that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. NLC TUC boycott negotiation as federal government promises to shift ground. And you can find that story on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And there's a story that says, okay, we've read that about the student loan. And the next one says, Senate stalls debate against implementation of new electricity tariff. And that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Edo Ondo pool, stop abuse by governors. INEC tells security agencies. And you can find that story on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. And these are all the stories we have of the Bible.
And there's a story here also, Mary, that says that terrorism, Nigeria needs partnership, not handouts. FG tells US.
This is sweet. I don't know that they are seeing it like that. Because I don't understand. The US will not help us as regards security and all of that. They're not speaking BB grammar. They should come and help us. It looks as if this banditry stuff, you understand, this killing in Nigeria is beyond our Nigerian leaders. It's beyond all the security forces. So let's see if we'll get the foreigners like the US also to come and help us in Nigeria. So if this thing is said to me is not wrong, it's right. Let them
Thank
bring
you.
the people.
I said the same thing in one of our programs here that we really need these people to help us. Our military, we are not trained to combat terrorism. It's a different strategy, a different pattern to combat terrorism. It's a normal conventional military. That is what we have. Even our special forces are not trained to combat terrorism. Let these people help us. We should swallow our pride. We've been fighting terrorism for the past 12 years. We've not been able to achieve quarter victory, not talk of even half victory. These people are trained, these people have experience when it comes to combating terrorism. We have terrorists in European countries, but they're able to defeat them. If we cannot fight them with military might, let's use economic power, freeze their sponsors' accounts here in Nigeria. One of those was admin, the Interpol, CIA, FBI gave us names of those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. They gave it to the past president, Muhammadu Buhari. He refused to publish their names. Why can't you start from there? Freeze their accounts. Then we cannot start combating them with weapons. It's not everything you fight with guns. See, military has gone beyond guns and bombs. You now use brain now. It's not about guns and bombs. Technology is now involved. Do we have drones? Do only guns and bombs with armored tank? For how long are we going to fight terrorism? And we've been on this thing for the past 12 years. Let the Westerners help us. That's my
Let
own
them help us.
opinion.
So this is the
You know,
terrorists. They kidnap people, they demand for ransom, and this money is paid into account. They make us with phones, and they
Thank
cannot
you.
track the number. Since it's not beyond them, let them call other people to come and
Then
help
what's
us.
not? Why do we not
Another
have BVN? Why do we have NIN? Why do we have satellites in the moon? Do you know,
thing is
in
that
time of
Uber is
Jonathan, we have the
not
satellites in the moon.
but this
We have
banditry is
satellites in the
beyond
moon.
them. It's
So why
beyond
do
them.
we
You
waste?
know, funny
Why do we have
enough,
to waste
that's
millions?
the reason. That's the reason they did all this BVN, NI stuff, and at the end of the day,
Okay.
it still did not work.
Also, that
And
is the
that was
reason
the
we also
reason
have
at some point
satellites.
in Zafara State, over a period of almost 1 year, there was no network at all. The network was seized that, okay, they don't want these bandits to communicate among themselves. And so at some point, they had to do what? Seize the network. I remember then I had some, people from my place who actually went there for service. And at the end of the day, their parents were so worried, no calls, no internet. This is how far we have gone as a country. And I
Princess.
think at this point
Yeah.
we've said it here before. I know, is it Princess or Shalom that was against that they should not come and help us, because whatever they do, that means they are eyeing something as well. Nothing is free. We know that nothing is free. In as much as our politicians are stealing, others can steal, but provided
you
they
know,
will
Now, but
just
we're
do
already in
it.
debt. We're already in debt.
but
Are
let
we?
me
Is it?
Now, Princess, have you seen why we need the youth
can I
in
say
power?
this?
Go on.
Go ahead,
Well,
Shalom. Let's hear from you.
okay. The truth is, in as much as we want their help, but let's face the fact: terrorism in Nigeria is not beyond our military personnel. It's not
That
beyond
is
them.
because he's being sponsored by them as well, around,
Do
the
you
elites.
understand?
You know.
Yes. So who is going to allow the foreigners to come and help you when they
So,
are the
so
ones benefiting from it?
thank you so
It's just like
much.
you have.
That's
It's just like you are in your house and there is darkness. You are complaining there is darkness. Would you go and switch on the light? To dispel darkness is just to put on the light. Why complaining? See, the reason why this thing will remain for a long time is because the people know what is happening. Our leaders know what is happening. If they want this thing gone in a moment, it will be gone. Because
That is
you
why.
already know your enemy. It's just
That
like
is
you
why.
mentioned drone. This is why young people, when it comes to young minds, will think differently. You already mentioned drone. This thing will not take anything from the government to assess, to achieve, and to use to confront this terrorism. So my point is, the US coming in is not the solution. It's not. If
The
we can
solution
battle
is
this
with
thing,
us. I understand you, Shalom. The
yes,
solution is
we have
actually with us. We are the
intelligent
solution.
military
They
people. We
know
have so they
themselves.
are intelligent. I've encountered some of them. They talk when they talk, they can provide solution on how to cope these things, but who will listen to them? Who
Don't
will
forget,
endorse it? Who
Charlotte, that
will
we brought a
allow
young
it?
man from Kanu, who actually
Yeah,
defining
yeah,
security, how it started, and everything about insecurity in a very
yes,
short
yes,
sentence. A very
yes.
intelligent young man from Kanu who has been studying, reading books. Even then, he was sitting
Thank
in the study.
you.
You could see books on insecurities and all that.
I'm telling
And then he
you.
said the same thing. It's not about bringing, external bodies,
It's
but
not
it's
about
about,
this, but no, we
we
can
can
battle this
resolve
in
it
a
here.
moment. Yeah.
Anyway, we go quickly to the next story here because of time. There's a story here I really want to talk on. Now, look at this headline. The big story here, you know, legacy of waste. And this has become our reality in Nigeria. For instance, I will speak of Abuja. If you go to Asokoro area of Abuja, you will see a lot of mansions, magnificent buildings that have been abandoned for years. No single human being living in them, just maybe one security there, staying there for over 10 years. It has
Yeah.
gotten to a point in Abuja where the young people, these security guards, they know when their master will be around, maybe they're in abroad or somewhere. So they rent it out for you on a short length to make money. This has become the reality of our people. You see, most of these people are stealing this money to buy these buildings or to build them, and at the end of the day, you won't allow people to stay there at a minimum rate. You just leave these buildings there, not living there. And you see, some of these are elite, they have like 10, 20 in Abuja. I've interviewed a politician before in Abuja. I went to his house in Maitama that told me that if you want research, you can actually show this. I don't care. EFCC can come. I don't care. I have other buildings in Wuse. I have cars. I have this. You can come and capture the answer. I said, sir, that would not be necessary today. Maybe next time. And so these are some of the issues. You see these people. They keep buying. They keep looting money to buy things they cannot even use. Now look at this headline very well. If you see these buildings now, most of them, even most of the government buildings as well, they are just there,
Yeah.
not being used for anything, good use or anything. I went home recently to my state in my city. I saw a very big mansion, but the house is just there abandoned. And I was asking my friend, who owns this house? I should not mind. He said, don't mind this man. The man just became is he has, or what's he called in Asaba? The next thing, he started stealing money, and before you know, the money stopped coming, and he has so many buildings like this, abandoned buildings everywhere, and it's so disheartening. What do we do about this?
Wow.
Because if you look at this big
That's
story here, look at these mansions here, they are wasted. And then we have people too living under bridge in Lagos, no roof over their heads. So what
But
can we do?
sometimes you see where they'll come and say that okay, they give this particular time frame to complete this build. I think it happened around Udu, where they wrote down like okay, they gave a particular time frame to round up this build. Else they will demolish it. I think it was when Wike came in. And you see, they started rushing the building. So I think they do something like that, telling them that okay, if you don't complete this particular project before a particular time frame, we're going to come and
Funny
demolish it.
enough, Mary, some of them actually completed. Oh, if you go to Asokoro area, go to Metama, you see mansions. You go
But can
on
I
a
come in?
street.
Can I come
Yes,
in?
go ahead.
Okay. In as much as we are complaining that people do not have houses, until proven guilty, these people are still innocent of any corrupt charges. These buildings belong to somebody. You cannot tell them how they should use their buildings. They own the house. We have laws in
And that's
Nigeria.
because they
If
don't
I
pay the
build,
tax. Like here in the UK, if you're paying that, they call it they call one if you have a private house, you pay council tax every month, right? And then if you
what
have
if they are
a
paying?
government hold on, if you have a business premises, or you hire a store space you're using, you pay for commercial rates monthly. I think when people begin to pay like this, maybe you want to think of how to make you good use of that place to make
your
money, and
Yeah,
property.
of
Yeah.
course as well.
Exactly.
You can't say because it's your building, you need to just abandon it. Nobody's living there. You have 10 of it and you abandon them. I think that's wrong.
So, like
Very
you
wrong.
rightly said, if they are paying to this, if they are paying tax on those buildings, maybe they will make good use of that building. So that is another good solution
What's
to
the
those
essence
problems.
anyway of
Instead of
building a
demolishing
very
the
big
building.
house and then you don't make use of it? Nobody's living there. You don't want people to live as well. What's the essence
It,
of
So,
it?
show,
so,
it
so,
shows it shows the mindset that some of our leaders have. Just wasteful mindset. Because you can't say you don't have a vision for, if you have a vision for that building, there's no way it will not be working.
That is
So for you
it.
yes,
to, yes, it's sad that some of our leaders are just waiting. Okay, now you have money that you never knew is possible, so you just start wasting it. No vision, no plan, nothing.
and it shows
So
in
this
their
also
system of
shows the
leadership.
kind of, yes, this shows the system of leadership we have in Nigeria. It's sad, really, really sad.
Like
Wasteful
yes,
set
It's
of
sad, and
but
then look at this story here that is the one with the red background there that
yeah,
say rising
background.
cost of drugs worsen, step rise in hypertension causes. I think these are some of the issues we are talking about. Some people are wasting their buildings, their houses, resources on things they cannot use. Meanwhile, the health sector, like I said earlier, there should be exceptional cases. We know that the rate of hypertension in Nigeria is becoming unbecoming. So for that reason, I think maybe we should, government should find a way to, even if we have to pay for this medication, it should be moderate. Imagine somebody having hypertension already and they are not able to pay for their medications. That means it's a
Drugs,
serious
yeah.
thing. You want people to be dying left and right. That's something that you don't joke with at all, because any mistake, somebody is gone. It's gone. It's
yes.
not. It's something that needs total controlling. Something you have to monitor all the time. And that is why maybe here in the UK, there anything here, healthcare, everything they do here is free. I think our government really needs to, in as much as we know that, okay, not if even if not free totally, but how can we be having rising cost again? Talking about, and sometimes I'm surprised that you see asthmatic patients in Nigeria, you see sickle cell, they are still buying medications. They are not supposed to. These are supposed to be made
Not
available
supposed
for
to.
them.
Yeah.
Available. Ventolin inhaler now is
Available.
about 60,000 naira now, from 1.5 to 3,000 now. To get Ventolin inhaler, not even the tablets, just the one you use for a week or two, it's now as high as 60 to 70,000 naira. Now, how do you expect somebody who earns for 30,000 naira minimum wage to be able
Minimum
to
wage, yeah.
afford the Ventolin inhaler of 70,000
Right.
naira? And in a month, he or she will need two. Because I actually assisted a lady one day at the market that just fell from bike. People were running. When I got close, I noticed she had asthma. We had to rush her to a nearby hospital where they gave her drips and other things and contacted her family. Now, what do you expect? She said she can no longer afford the inhaler. It is not expensive. So we need to look at this. And like you said, Princess, we need to change some policies. You will now imagine a gunshot victim. You are telling him to go and get a police report.
The police
Police
How?
reports.
report.
That one is the most
How?
annoying thing.
It's sad. A gunshot victim
Sometimes
to
I
go and get
wonder
police
if
report.
our medical sector, do they
Are we are we
only
are we are
learn?
we are we are we ready
If
in
they
this
just have to
country?
treat people, they taught them. They did not teach them common sense too. Do they need to teach them common
Ah,
sense? It doesn't make
You
sense.
know, you know,
This.
you know, you know.
Although you
I've been,
cannot
I've been
blame them a
seeing.
lot of time because of it's
asking
our
emergency
system.
patients to
It's our
deposit.
system.
How?
It's
Accident
our
victim
system
to
But
because
it's
deposit.
it's
sometimes
it's 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 wrong. It's wrong. Here in the UK last year, I think I was very sick and they had to call the emergency, and the response was just so quick. At that point, they don't care about anything. It's just to make sure they stabilize you and all that. And then even my colleague also that came, the same thing happened, and we call emergency. It's the same thing. So, and in Nigeria too, you see that sometimes too. I think the whole thing. I had a nurse in the Abuja studio now, a male nurse that came on World Nursing Day, and I said sometimes your colleague, they are not too friendly. You will see a pregnant woman in labor trying to push, and you're saying, "Madam, push! I'm not the one that got you pregnant." That is not
yeah,
nice.
so
They
That
are
is
so
sarcastic.
not nice
saucy.
at all.
They are very saucy.
Yes. And it's heartbreaking to know that people do not follow the ethics of their profession anymore. It's just they are there. It's as if somebody's forcing them to actually do the job they're supposed to, even though we have
Job,
nice ones
yeah.
that will actually make you feel better. They keep laughing and all that. Anyway, we move quickly to sport newspapers. We wrap up the show because it's time already. David, can you take us through
Okay.
sports? Do you have it?
Okay, I
David or
do. Let
Shannon?
me. Yes, I do. But let me just quickly get it from my phone. A lot is really happening in the world of sports, so I'm actually excited when it comes to sporting stories like this. Okay, let me pick from Punch Sports with the headline.
Are you there, David? Okay, I think there's network issue there. We can't hear him.
I hope his mic
Maybe
is not mute. Is he talking?
I think
Okay,
his
what?
network issue.
Shalom, what about you? Do you have the paper? This Punch Sport Extra.
Let me check. Let me check.
Okay, you are not downloading the paper. Wow. Okay. And the big story on the Punch Sport Extra say Chidi Okeze, Chidi Okeze exclusive. It was a dream of mine compete in the Olympic, and when that happened, I was crushed. I almost gave up. And this story was is coming from Chidi Okeze. And we have another story that says Ndidi opens to offer amid villa interest, and that story is on page 7. We have another story that says Awoni casts doubts over future, and that story is on page 7. And another one says the Napoli eye 40 million euro on Morodion to replace Osime, and that's on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra. And there's another story here that says Euros, Germany snob Adeyemi, and that is on page 7. We have another story that says Arsenal lead United in 64 million euro Sesco raise, and that's on page 5 of the Punch Sports Extra. We have another story that says FFP preach City may pay 355 million euro, and that story is on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra. And we have another story that says 2024, my best Madrid season. It's coming from Ancelotti, and that's on page 3 of the Punch Sports Extra. We have another story that says Galaga, not keen on Newcastle move, and that story is on page 4 of the Punch Sports Extra. Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games heartbreak.
I
And
think that story is together with the main headline of Chidi Okezie that said it was a dream of mine to compete in the Olympics. And
okay, it's
when
together.
that happened, I was crushed. I almost gave up. My Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games heartbreak.
Okay.
Anyway, what actually happened there? Take us through the sport, David, if you can hear us.
Okay, I
David,
can hear you now.
okay, okay.
Yes, yes, I
Welcome
can hear
back.
you now. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we talked about there's this story on page 7. Hero Germany snob Adeyemi. Karim Adeyemi is of Nigerian descent, but born in stays in Germany. Spent all his life in Germany. So presently, we actually thought he was going to pay his allegiance to the German national team, but it's a good news to the Super Eagles because he has been snubbed by the German national team. So this is good for the Super Eagles. They can actually take advantage. And
But it's a hard time
also,
for him. But it's a hard time for him as well. He did say
yes,
that.
yes, it's
Okay.
a hard time because he wants to play for the German national team, but since he has been snubbed, Super Eagles can take advantage. And also moving on from there, Ndidi opens to offer amid Villa interest. We've heard Ndidi applies his trade with Leicester City in the Championship, and they just gained promotion to the Premiership. Though they were relegated last season, and now they are back. Himself and Kelechi Iheanacho. So him moving away from Leicester City, I don't know if it's a good move, but hopefully it favors him. And also, Napoli eye 40 million Omoro Dion to replace Osimhen. Now it's obvious that Osimhen wants to leave Napoli. Remember, he had an issue with the club when they brought us a cartoon. That actually, he felt insulted by the cartoon that was displayed by his club. Even though the club president came out to debunk rumors that they want to insult Osimhen, but he didn't take it lightly with them, so he wants to leave. Chelsea are also interested in Osimhen. PSG, they are also interested in Osimhen. Manchester
Wow, that's
United and
amazing.
Arsenal. So they all want to get
Wow.
Osimhen. So
Hot cake.
Osimhen now, Victor Osimhen has made his intention clear that he wants to leave at the end of the season. So
Maybe
I
that was
think
the
now,
Chelsea will buy him. Oh. There was a time that they were already deliberating on him. Chelsea, Arsenal, something like that.
yes, now PSG has actually come into the field. PSG are afraid they will lose Kylian
No, Chelsea will
Mbappe
win.
to Real
Chelsea
Madrid.
will win because Chelsea has money. Don't worry, let's see.
Hopefully, but don't forget
Anyway,
PSG. PSG might sell Mbappe, so they want to use Osimhen to replace Mbappe in France. So let's look at that. And also, Gallagher, Chelsea player, not keen on Newcastle move. Yes, we know Gallagher is present Chelsea's captain now, and Chelsea, well, whether they are doing well now. So what Newcastle want to get Gallagher, but I think he's saying here that he's not really keen about the move. He's not really showing interest in moving to Newcastle. And also, this is very, very interesting. Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti says 2024 is his best season. 2024, my best Madrid season. Don't forget, Carlo Ancelotti actually coached Chelsea. Yeah, he was coaching Chelsea. He has coached other big top clubs. And now he coached Real Madrid, came to Chelsea, back to Real Madrid again, and he is doing very, very well for the club. So hopefully, don't forget they are in the Champions League final. They've actually won the league. They're in the Champions League final, and hopefully, I hope they win. The Dortmund, they are not really showing form now. Don't forget Karim Adeyemi, because it's my Nigerian brother. I want him to win the Champions League. He plays for Borussia Dortmund, and they'll be facing Real Madrid in the Champions League final. It's going to be a real very interesting match. It's a match that you shouldn't. Nobody's like if you're a sports fan, you're not meant to miss at the Champions League final because of our own Nigerian brother. I'm going to be supporting my Nigerian brother, Karim Adeyemi, who plays for Borussia Dortmund, and they'll be facing a Real Madrid that are presently in form. So that is that from sports news.
anyway, that's quite elaborate. Thank you so much. I think we have a lot of trending from the world of sport. Well, kudos to you
Yeah.
guys, sport analysts. Anyway, thanks to you and Mary. And just before we wrap up the show, I will need you guys to let's say just a word to the youth from each of you. And Shalom is not here. I don't know why. Network, I guess. Let's go with ladies first, Mary.
First, are you reading my mind?
Okay, for the youth, I just want to say keep going. Once you keep showing up every day, definitely you win one day. In anything you're doing, don't relent, don't give up. Most importantly, make money. Make money is very important because if you make money, you avoid a lot of things, a lot of see finish, just as we say it. And make sure you protect your mental health and also do things that will give you peace of mind. It's very important because already in this country we have a lot of problems. So don't add it to your own personal issues. Try as much as you can, you understand, to embrace peace at all costs. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is now. So the best time to make impact is now. Don't wait until you become president, governor, senator. Start making impact now. Start from your street. In fact, start from home. Charity begins from home. Make impact from within your family. Go to the street, your neighborhood. Begin to make impact. So, and it begins with me, it begins with you. If I impact a life today, you impact a life today, I can tell you Nigeria and the world will be a better place. Yes, if it's not making money, it's not making sense. You can still make sense without making money. That I'm sure of. Thank you.
Thank you, David, so much. My team, they have said it all. We are the youths. We are the not the future leader. We are the leaders today. You must start today. Don't rely on anybody. Don't say it's tomorrow. Don't say I can't do it. I don't think I can. My vote won't count. They will not hear me. No, keep talking. Keep screaming. Someday they will hear you. That would be a good place to wrap up the show. And we know it's Friday while you are out there. These are the things we talk about: having fun, clubbing, of course, driving. Please do the right thing as you are on it. obey the traffic laws, drive carefully, know that your life matter and the life of others as well matter. Put your life first and the life of people around you first. Do the right thing and every other thing will follow. Don't say, others are cutting corners, I must cut corner. No, do the right thing. Just maybe somebody might see you and want to do the right thing as well. So let's start today. Tomorrow is too far. Let's begin today. And don't forget our shortlets we have across Abuja and Lagos, a home away from home where you can do your conferences, birthday, photo shoots, bridal showers, everything, meetings, even church meetings, anything is a home, where you can relax, have fun. Sometimes, you just need a serene to walk, a serene to relax. So, and this is this thing we keep saying. Sometimes you need places to go to relax your mind, calm, peaceful. We have everything in place. Please make sure you reach out to us today. And don't forget also the Nigerian week that is fast approaching. We are here to showcase us as a people, showcase your brand, to showcase you. So partner with us, everything you do, no matter how little, we can show it to the world, The world is now a global village and people need to see you, people need to hear you. So do well to reach out to us. It's Friday and thank God it's Friday. While you are out there, please remember that peace is priceless, like Mary said. So let's always give peace a chance. Thank you so much, Mary and David. We'll do this again tomorrow, hopefully. And bye. Thank you, viewers, for being on the show today. And we see you again.
Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of art and culture, entertainment, business and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5 OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at everbright.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience a nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than Srtv Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. Srtv goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your Srtv Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can reach us by calling this number 070-6237-9915 or 080-7082-7331.